Try now?
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, folks, Spice Lords, everyone involved.
Spice Lords! Can we call it Spice Lords?
This is Spice Lords podcast coming soon. So, we're doing a podcast. Right now is a demo that might become a real podcast. We're figuring it out.
Maybe once it's like really successful and popular, we'll eventually release this one as like the pilot that never got released.
If only we recorded the process of getting here.
Oh my god, it was such a pain in the ass.
But nonetheless, from Mama and I are starting a podcast that we want to call. This is my alley-oop to you.
Okay, I needed this today.
I needed this today, which is an in-joke between us that we're now bringing out to you because anyone that's listening is pretty much the contributor of this name.
Yeah.
Alpha Mama, you're probably a bit more present in the big vulnerable shares than I these days, but definitely we both went through a big phase of lots of vulnerable shares.
We basically hoard out our vulnerability to get Instagram popularity.
Yeah, to get some likes. Do you know since I stopped doing them, I've dropped 1.5 thousand followers. It's still going down.
People love that vulnerability.
They want the vulnerability. But anyways, a lot of the comments, if it was a successful post, if you at least got one comment of saying, I needed this today.
It still happens to me. I still like every couple of days I have someone, I needed this today. Thank you so much. I needed this today. It still happens.
Yeah. So we thought we could create a podcast and see if we can create the needed these of the day.
We're going to make some needy podcast episodes. Smell the vulnerability. And just a chance for us to, what we're both trying to reel back on our platforms is having to do that as often. But maybe giving a chance to have a platform. A podcast is for long form content. Yeah.
Which is what we were doing on Instagram, which is more visuals than long form content.
And I think also for me, like the Instagram platform is it's a bite-sized morsel of something that you're probably journeying really deeply and intricately, and you're talking about things that are so deep and so huge, and you have to squish it into however many characters in a caption.
It's the worst.
With the picture, and then people get that snapshot and then they think they understand everything that you're going through, and they're going to put it through their own lenses, and sometimes it's so frustrating, and then they give you their unsolicited feedback and advice, and you're like, you don't even know what I'm going through. So this is a good way to actually
break it down
and give more context and give more information. Not that anybody is owed it, but we both love talking about our lives and sharing our lives, because I think we live very unique lives in comparison to how majority of people live.
Yes.
So it's beautiful to share that, but to be able to do that, and share our voices, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, like that's what I want the ability to be able to do, is to go on rants about things that are important to us and share, like, anywhere from a vulnerable share to maybe a bit of a fiery rant, and finding that balance between us, because I feel like, obviously we have a lot of common values, but there's times where we disagree on things, and it'll be nice to hash some things out on here and really share that process. And I feel like maybe you're better at it than me. For me personally, is asking the questions I really don't want to be asked. I remember there's lots of times it's like, don't ask me that question, but it's that ability to go the next level deeper, and especially with the vulnerable shares, sometimes I can read your stuff and I'm like, oh, I know what you're trying to say, but your whole point isn't across because I know you personally. So that's that chance to go, okay, but underneath that,
what did you really mean?
Yeah.
Because you still hide a little bit. And I think like that's the beauty of internet sharing, is that there is a little bit of ambiguity in your words, and you can craft it so that you're kind of talking about something, but you can leave some details out to give you a little bit of safety and privacy. And then I feel like you and I started so strong doing that, and we did build these followings, and then we kind of got over that because
Yeah.
I don't, for me it was like, firstly, most people don't deserve that level of vulnerability because they're not actually really giving their presence and their attention, so they just take a little bit and then they run with it. And then secondly, I felt like sometimes I was sharing things prematurely as well and
Yes.
not actually processing them.
Yes. Yeah, for me, a big thing is like looking back over them was, yeah, just the bits that I missed. I'm like, oh yeah, I understand why people have this projection of me because I read back over that and I'm like, I'm an idiot, like I didn't mean that, like it was, yeah, I pressed the button too early. Also, just a big thing for me was like training my audience, my followers, that this is the standard that they always get. So
That's
then if I
painful.
want to share something not as intense, everyone's like, meh,
Yeah,
like,
crickets.
yeah, it's like, whatever. I didn't feel you bleeding all over this one, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want it. So I've been training my audience to like bite-sized content.
Yeah, that's cool. I need to learn how to do that because I get so jealous when I see Instagram influencers like put a simple picture up with like some random shitty quote that they stole from the internet somewhere, like one line, and there's like everyone's running up the comments, and I'm like, I have to give you a whole fucking life story with my bleeding heart just to get some fucking engagement.
It's the worst. I remember how frustrated I was getting. And like now I'm like my thing is like I'm not allowed to go over. Like I'll never do a continues in comments post
Oh,
again.
that's your thing, huh?
Yeah, that's where I draw the line.
That's where I draw the
Draw
line.
the line.
If I can't get you to say I needed this today in one caption, I quit.
I quit. Definitely. And also it was just a big thing of like it's just aesthetically ugly putting it into comments.
It's true. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Sometimes I do it, but I agree with you. It is ugly.
The other day, I can't remember whose profile I was on. I'm going to say Claire's. And I saw she was doing it and she was putting like the comments of part 1, part 2 in there. And I was like, that's so much better. Because I'd had times where people are reading it in the wrong order and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. I tend to, if I am going to do continued in comments, it's usually only one comment and I'll write part 2 in it. Like, I think that's important. But the shitty thing about Instagram is you can't pin your own comment. So
Yeah.
you can't pin it to the top.
Yeah.
They should just sort that out.
Because I think I did one. I did one when I did the post about James. I think I did a continued in comments. I guess that's a slippery. I'll allow this.
Yeah. It was a sensitive subject.
Sensitive subject that needed a bit more words. But yeah, and I was like, oh, I'll pin it. And I'm like, oh, I can't pin this.
Yeah, you can't pin it. What I've been doing lately is like writing it in my notes and then like screenshotting it and then putting it as a swipe through.
Swipe, yes. Yeah, I've done that also with that James post. I was like, I want to add this poem in here, but I'll just, put it in here. And that's something I want to start doing is, okay, just add it in sections in there and swipe across. I've been really getting into the carousel feature, like telling stories through that.
Yeah.
It's really been my new obsession.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that more because I have this new Instagram account, Ugly is Free.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you follow it yet.
I do.
You do follow it, yeah. It's been really fun just to like break all the rules that I have for myself on my other Instagram account and just be like, this one is purposely to be ugly so I can do whatever the fuck I want, which is really actually liberating and fun.
I love that my side account is boys are pretty or whatever it is, and yours is ugly is free.
Yes. I love that. My pronouns are they, she, him. And it just feels so liberating to just like, I feel like I get to really be blank there and I get to be emotional. And I noticed the other day I shared this thing about some shit I was going through and someone gave me their like feedback, their opinion. And I was like, I just felt like icky to receive someone's feedback on this thing. And then I did another post like in response to that. And I don't allow myself to do that on my Alpha Mama Instagram anymore. It's much more curated and less emotionally volatile and reactive and a lot more like it's about the aesthetics and it's about the music and it's about the artistic journey. But there, I let myself be feral.
Yes. Yeah. I won't name names because I don't know what their journey is, but a friend of ours is sharing their journey around a certain medical procedure, and they say at the end no word reactions, like because it's too emotionally vulnerable for them. So like people are just reacting with emojis and whatnot, but such a beautiful journey, and I like that, you know, like closing it off with like, you're not allowed to comment on this.
Yeah, I feel in that. I was thinking about disabling comments on Ugly is Free
Oh, yeah.
because the whole point of it for me is to really not care about the validation. You know, the whole me like journeying prettiness as opposed to genuine beauty, which I see are two very different things.
Yes.
Like prettiness is easy for me. I know how to curate what looks good and angles and filters and makeup and blah, blah, blah. But I do it so that there's engagement. That's the fucking point. I do it so that I can capture your attention and so that I can get your attention or I can get the validation, and to drop that and like really explore ugliness, you know, authenticity, freedom, and what I actually am in that moment, the truth of that, to get your validation. It's like, even if it's positive, that's still icky because it's like, oh, now it's giving me dopamine. Now it's giving me dopamine every time. It's like, oh, how ugly can I get now? How ugly? Are you going to respond to this? Are you going to react to that? And so it's like, it's no longer my process. But it's ironic because I'm doing it on Instagram. Like I could just do it in my phone, but it's not the same.
No, yeah. It's validation is, it's you know, like a lot of things I say to my clients is like, put it on social media to make your reality other people's reality, to hold that anchor for you, you know. It's like it's being realized in the world, so that's the permission you're getting, you know. And yeah, it could be the same as going out to a public space and doing it, but we have the comfort of just doing it from home now.
Yeah, and there is a safety in like internet posting.
Yes.
You know, I could go like, you know, for example, one thing that I share on, you know, and I've done this on my personal Instagram as well, but on my main one, Alpha Mama, but like, you know, period stuff, right? Bleeding, free bleeding, and the messiness of free bleeding is quite a taboo topic. If I were to do that in a shopping center,
Yes.
that would probably be unsafe for me.
Yes.
But I can do that on the internet, and the worst thing that's going to happen is someone's going to tell me I'm disgusting in my comments or call me names or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
report you, maybe
report me.
maybe get a
slap on the wrist from Instagram and a post gets deleted, for sure. But it's like, of course, I'm more inclined to do it there because it's safe.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
I think that's the cool thing, actually, when I think about social media, is that as artists, we get to explore the extremes of our expression in a safe place. Whereas, you know, the world has become quite unsafe for exploring the taboos of expression. You know, sex is banned, is banned, is banned. It's not, you know, it's not okay. And violence to a degree as well, of course. And the only places that it's allowed is, you know, in art, like in movies or in songs or on stages. And having a platform like Instagram where you can really push the boundaries without having an immediate physical backlash or, you know, being taken to jail or whatever, then it's cool. But if I were to, you know, do some of the shit that I do in a public place, I would probably be seen as mentally unwell, and, you know, and there would be the consequences that I'd have to face for doing that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I've been thinking a lot around why people like us don't, I guess we're in Australia, but don't use Twitter as much. Because you can post straight up porn on Twitter, and that's fine.
Yeah, I've tried to use Twitter. I don't know. I feel like Twitter's this kind of thing where it's like you knock on the door like a million times and then all of a sudden you're through.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to have that one tweet that goes viral before any traction happens. Because I've seen it happen to people. They've been like tweeting for like 10 years and like they have like 3 followers or whatever, but they're consistently doing it. And then one of their tweets with the right hashtag gets reshared like however many times, and that's it. From then on, you know, they're a Twitter personality. I think we're not patient enough because we got spoiled because we always had instant engagement.
Yeah, with Instagram. Yeah, well, that's why I've not pursued TikTok as much. Not anything, you know. That's definitely that privilege of having a decent following on Instagram. You know, and it's still, you know, it's only 10, 13,000, whatever. But yeah, I want the following. I want people to engage, and I'm constantly figuring out how to create more engagement with what I already have rather than finding new spaces to create new engagement.
Yeah, podcasts are good for that. You know, I'm curious to lean more into the podcast world, because even like Facebook, because you and I were great on Facebook, and we made most of our money through Facebook. And
yeah.
you know, we knew how to make posts go viral and all of that stuff, and it just became, for me anyway, too personal. It was like too personal, the opposite of Instagram.
Yeah.
It was like my family's there and friends are there, and then, you know, different people crossing over, and it's like, it felt somehow like icky to just use it like to make a, you know, a viral post to sell something. It was like, I didn't feel good anymore.
No. Yeah, I definitely have been getting pangs every once in a while, like, damn, like, because I deleted it and it's gone, you know?
Yeah, you went extreme.
I got out of there, but every once in a while I'm like, damn, I had really good engagement, but also it's time when, and like I'm going through sales and whatnot, I'm like, oh, I made a lot of sales on there, but I'm just trusting that I needed to get that the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I took your move and unfollowed everyone.
Yeah.
Which was great, but my engagement dropped significantly, but so did my scrolling, which is great.
Yep.
And then now my engagement is picking back up a little bit, but it's not the way it was, because I unfollowed everyone. I had to do that for my mental health. I had to do that.
Yeah. I go through waves with Instagram because I have everyone muted. I'm like, should I, you know, introduce a few people? It's just a big no for me.
It's a slippery slide.
But I do every once in a while, like I'll go through and like, you know, there's my main people, you, Nardine, Georgia, Tim, Naif, whoever. There's a group of people that every day I'll check your stories. Like I personally go and check the stories and then go on the feed and check what's the latest posts once a week or whatever. And then every once in a while I'll try and I follow like 99 people, so I'll just go through and like, what's whoever, you know, Leah Steele been up to, what's Ken Cole been up to, what's Tyron been up to.
True.
And
99 people, that's it.
I think it's 98. But yeah, it drops, it goes up and down, and I think I'm going to go through another cleanse now. I go through it, I'm like, damn, like there's certain names in there, I'm like, I haven't talked to this person in like 2 years, you know?
Yeah, so I should go through my follows again, actually, and do a cleanup job. So it's a hard thing because, again, there's personal friendships, and then there's, you know, brand alliances, and then there's like celebrities or whatever, other people that you're interested in. And sometimes, like, you want to be connected to your friends because you're friends, but their content is shit. Yeah. And you don't really care about what they're sharing.
Yeah.
And then... but you feel bad to not follow them. It's hard.
Yeah, it's a big guilt trip. It's the worst when I'm out and about and someone's like, what's your Instagram? I'll give you a follow. I'm like, okay, great. I'm not going to follow you back. I'm not going to follow you back. I remember just recently, one of the most beautiful humans, they like grabbed my phone and followed themselves on my phone. And then as soon as they walked away, I was like, I follow. I'm like, we just met, you know, there's people that are like my best friends for years and I still don't follow them, you know? You got no chance, buddy.
It's like that for me, like, because I meet people on dating apps, right? And I don't know,
yeah.
Men are funny on dating apps. Oh, not just men, women as well. Actually, I had a recent experience with a woman who, from her pictures on the dating app, she looked fine. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm into it. And then I was like, what's your Instagram? And I had a look. I was like, oh, hell no. Like, it was like almost like a catfish situation. I was like, that is not what you look like. And, you know, like oftentimes people will follow me on Instagram and then I won't follow them back because I don't know where this is going to go. Like, I just want to see that you're a real person and who you are and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fascinating one with announcing Tim as my boyfriend on Instagram.
Yes, the big announcement.
200 unfollows within 24 hours. And I went and checked who it was, and it was like a lot of people that had found me through dating apps. Because I had my Instagram in there, and they're like, oh, well, he's not available anymore. Get rid of him. Just recently when we had Alice Knight perform at ours, this guy messaged me and he's like, hey, we chatted on, I don't know, Field or Tinder at some point. And we got disconnected. Do you have a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah, I do have a boyfriend. I hope you're well, rah, rah. And then just blocked.
Fuck!
Blocked me. I was like, savage.
You know what the flip side of that is happened to me at a few times and recently. So I have my Instagram handle on Tinder, and I'm rarely like matching with people on Tinder, but every now and then I'll get someone who sees my handle on Tinder and then DMs me on Instagram, says, "Hey, I saw your profile on Tinder," but they'll be real forward. They'll be like, "Let me know if you want to hang out this weekend," and I'm like, the audacity, like, firstly, we didn't match on Tinder for a reason. And I look at their profile and it's like they've got like a private account with no photos of themselves, and like it's just like a weird ass thing. And I'm just like, okay, firstly, why do you think that it's okay to reach out to me and directly ask me out if we haven't matched on Tinder? And secondly, like, what is your selling point?
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to be interested in you? You have no photos of yourself. The photo that you do have of yourself is random. It's not appealing whatsoever. Like, why would you think I'd be, oh, fuck yeah, of course I'd love to. Thanks for asking. Like, it's so weird.
I've done pretty sneakies on that. So knowing that I have a decent Instagram following, like a greatly, in my opinion, like curated feed, I've seen people on Tinder or Field or something like that, and I'm like, and they have their Instagram on there, and I'm like, oh, I really want to match with this person. So what I do is block them on Tinder, go to their Instagram profile, drop a few likes on their photos as bait, and then they'll like my things back and go, hey, and I'm like...
Block them on Tinder? What does that mean?
So they don't see me on there first.
Oh.
So they don't know, like, in case they didn't match with me, because sometimes through the persona on Tinder, I don't have that big following or whatever.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm gonna play a bit of chess here.
Oh wow. This is so educational.
And I went through so funny. So I was really strategic for a while with dating, of like, there'd be like someone, so I'd find like a really good look. So when I'm trying to learn how to date men, I find a good looking local Sydney, even guys that I had dated, and I've gone through the people that they follow or follow them and find local gay dudes and like go over and just drop a couple likes on their profile, go down, drop. And so it's like, you know, I just went on a date with Greg, it's not going to work out, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to see what gay community he's connected to. I'm like, oh, that guy looks hot. Next guy, and then just, you know, the next day I have a couple likes and messages from guys. I'm like,
just planting
seeds all around. Just throw, and because if they come to my profile, oh, who's this guy? He's got a decent following. Look at these photos.
Look, I haven't been that strategic. I don't. My mind doesn't work like that. But sometimes, you know, if I'm on a hot dude's Instagram and he's got group pictures, I definitely like see, you know, who's tagged in his pictures. I'm like, who's that person? But everyone's account's private, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, private accounts are the worst.
I'm not gonna go request. That's really shit.
No way. I don't follow anyone, so I'm not gonna.
Most of the guys that I find on dating apps have private profiles, and I don't understand why. It's because I'm so the opposite. Nothing in my life is private except for Ugly is Free, which is private. But mainly that's private just because there's a lot of nudity there, and there's also
I was saying that. How's the nude? You just don't care if it gets deleted.
One got deleted today because I had my boobs out on the beach. That got deleted.
But there's like on the main feed, there's like some nipple action happening.
Yeah, that's the one that got deleted.
Okay.
Yeah,
got you.
That one got deleted.
Whenever I was like, shit, is there something where you can put an age restriction and private? And...
I thought maybe because my pronouns were they, them, maybe like...
maybe you could get through.
Because I don't... let's all be real, I don't have big tits, so, you know... I mean, you could argue. And that's the thing as well, like, I'm curious now with the gender... you know, I guess lines being so blurred and ambiguous, like, if I have, you know, quote unquote, a woman's body, like a female form, but I identify as a man, then are they still female breasts?
Well, I was thinking about this the other day because Elliot Page put up a picture and he is shirtless in boardies.
Did he have top surgery?
Top surgery.
Okay, right.
I've been curious about that as well, around pronouns and being trans. So if you're a trans man that hasn't had top surgery, how does that work? How does Instagram is there a gender
Yeah, and
filter?
also like, and also if you're like a chubby, like if you're assigned male at birth,
Yeah.
and you're
Chubby.
chubby,
Yeah,
and you've got
you have man tits. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, what, like, how do they tell the difference?
Yeah, that's it's
What
very
is it?
fascinating.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes I look at my titties and I'm like, yeah, they look like, like a kind of chubby 12-year-old boy's titties.
Mm.
That's what they look like.
The other day, I was curious about. I should use it on another one of my profiles, but we were at the nudist. Tim and I were at the beach that day, and like, just the way his neck was, and with the hair that's there, it looked just like a pussy. And I was like, I wonder if I put this up on the gram, what would happen? Would it get flagged?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because it's bots, right? It's all
bots.
automated.
Also, we probably wouldn't added people reporting sometimes, but some people don't have a big enough profile to be reported, and it still gets flagged. I don't know.
It gets flagged as inappropriate content. I mean, like I remember when Tumblr was around, because that's closed now, right?
Tumblr, or not closed, but the nudity is
It's not allowed anymore.
prohibited.
So, like, I feel like there needs to be, I don't know, someone surely is working on it. I'm sure they do exist somewhere. And then there's the dark web and all that.
There's a new Tumblr. It's called New Tumblr, and that's like got all the
do
juicy
that.
stuff on there.
Nice.
But it's the same with Twitter. To come full circle again, you can.
Yeah, but it's
just
different.
that you don't have the captions ability, but.
And not only that, like, also Twitter's layout and format, it's not a curated feed,
No.
a visual feed like
Yeah.
Instagram is.
Or Tumblr was,
Yeah,
in a
Tumblr
way.
was. Yeah, and I guess you've got OnlyFans, but even that, like, I tried to engage with OnlyFans a few times and I just couldn't get my head around how it works. Like, as a platform, it wasn't very user-friendly, in my opinion.
I've been curious about just thinking on my own. Sorry, Tim, but I'd love to do a couples OnlyFans. I follow a few couples on Tinder. I mean, not Tinder, on Twitter. And like when they create content, it's so beautiful for me, like sexual content. I'd love to do that and get paid for it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I want to do that solo and with any, like, it would be such a goal for me to, like, okay, if my parents, if I didn't have the relationship I have with my son and my parents, that I would be
You'd already
living a
be
completely
there.
different life. But I would love to just be like a fucking porn star and just create porn with all the people that I'm sleeping with. It would be fucking mad. I would love that so much.
I think that's the only thing that terrifies me about the idea of like doing that with Tim. This has not been a discussion with him, but I haven't even met his mum yet, and then just that thing, I'm already tattooed to the fucking brim, and very different to I think a lot of the people that he's dated before have met his mum. Let alone also I've got your son into porn.
Yeah, also your son's a porn star now. But he makes a shit ton of money, so there's that.
So we got you this gift.
Oh damn, I often think about that, like the life, my unlived life, because of course, like I advocate for living your life, live your life authentically and unapologetic expression. But at the same time, I also advocate, for maintaining healthy relationships with the people that you love.
Yes.
And I know that if I really went down that path, it would create a lot of pain and unhappiness and, trauma for my parents. So I do kind of balance between, I operate in the taboo, but I don't share a lot of things publicly because I don't want to upset them and I don't want to create unnecessary problems for them. But I often think about the unlived life that I would have if I didn't want to keep that relationship with them.
So the couple that I follow through Twitter, they're from Melbourne, and they like head down. They don't do any headshots.
Oh, okay.
Would you? How do you feel about that?
Look at my tattoos, though. Everybody fucking knows.
Tattoos. That's the thing I think about so often. I was like, damn it.
And
fucking...
I have a very distinctive body, too. Like, I don't know anyone who's got a body like me.
Yeah. I remember when I was on, like, my early days of being on Grindr and I wasn't ready to really tell everyone I was doing that. I was like, any photo that I put on here, no matter what angle I try and figure out how to have I've
It's
got
you.
tattoos. It's fucking me, you know?
That's the thing.
I
I feel
remember when I
that.
first time sort of exploring it, I was at the God Queen house and I was like, I'm gonna go on here and fucking Jason's gonna see me on here.
It's funny though, sometimes when I'm on dating apps and my friends pop up,
Yeah.
like when I was in Byron, I was on Field, and heaps of our friends are on Field, and I was like, oh shit, you're
Yeah.
kinky, okay,
Yeah.
the couples,
Oh,
and
reading
this is what they're
people's
looking.
things.
Yeah, it was mad.
Mm.
I was like really proud actually. I was like, fuck yeah, my community is like
Yeah,
so
so
kinky.
dope.
I'm
Yeah.
into it.
Would have been nice to read everyone's things because it's like
It was.
vulnerable, but also it's our crew, so it's sort of
Yeah.
You-
I was
normal.
surprised as well at some of the things. I was like, oh, that's what you're into. All right.
uh.
That's cool.
Mine was when I was on Field, my bio was essentially. I think we were discussing this in the spa in the sauna the other night. Were we?
No.
Was that with you?
I wasn't.
Anyways, well, mine was pretty much, if you give me presents and eye contact, I'll meet you wherever.
Ooh, nice. I like that. Shit, I might need to borrow that. Where is my phone? My current profile is fun. Wait, where's my fucking phone?
I think it's somewhere else.
It's somewhere not to be found right now. No, I wanted to unpack my my dating profiles and want you to rate me on how good they are.
Let's do it. We'll do it as a final 10-minute segment because
Yeah,
we gotta
go.
bounce.
Look, I am loving dating. You know what I do? Last night, I was in the bath, super sexy, still had a full face of makeup on from my gig. Got in the bath, took a bunch of sexy selfies, went down WhatsApp list and just sent them to
Sent them
all
all.
of them. Just
Yeah.
planted my seed so in
Yeah.
the morning I could reap the appreciation.
Yes, I love it.
All right, so
Dating profile.
dating profile. Do you want to see the Hinge one first?
Hinge. All right,
All
let's
right.
have a read.
Let's have
Give
a
it
look.
to me.
View, go to view.
Yeah. All right, starts off with a very what is this like
Sultry,
sultry,
pouty?
yeah. Good makeup, strong
You gotta
face.
swipe up.
Oh yeah, this is best travel story. I went to New Orleans on a whim and recorded a 17-track album in 4 days with complete strangers. If I read that, I'd be like, okay, chaotic creative, I'm into it.
Chaotic creative. That's actually a really dope title.
Alright, now then it's like sexy innocent maiden.
The
but
caption
like,
is dating me will look like.
yeah, red room, so it's semi like stripper, prostitute, but like red light district.
True. In a little sexy black negligee, so
Yes.
there's that.
Age 37, woman, 5'4", Gladesville, East Asian / white Caucasian. Drink sometimes, smoke no, marijuana no, pills no. Sometimes.
They don't need to
You
know
do
that.
these ones? I feel like you do these ones more
More than I do
sometimes
the
than the
other
drink.
This year I've had a lot to drink, which is really unlike
Because
me.
you're dating. That's what I got trapped into as
That's
well.
what people do.
Work is music artist. Alright, we don't need to know. This is a cute face. This is cute. Wake up to me in bed, half face,
A little
smile.
sloth girl.
My simple pleasures: dancing naked to gospel music. I don't know how to take that one. Simple.
It's like she's irreverent and she's a
Yeah.
bit spicy, rebellious.
Yeah, I'd be very confused. I'd be like, so. Is this a joke? Am I meant to laugh and respond?
It weeds out anyone who's overly religious and
Yeah,
dogmatic. It's
very
like, if
important.
you got issues on that, then
Yeah.
you're not going to be into me.
Yeah. Ripping it up on stage. The sexy little skirt. Is it a skirt?
It's a skort, yeah. It's a skort.
You should not go out with me if you have a problem with underarm hair on me or seeing other people. Ooh, laying the laws. Times have changed since we dated.
Yeah, true.
This is really nice, this dancing video. Alright,
Thank you.
very sexy. B-roll on my camera. Rushed chaotic.
Chaotic.
Okay, there's a lot of chaotic energy going on here. And then just got your Instagram with your titties out here, so...
So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're like... a lot of men these days... Or maybe not the men you're going for, but men, like... you see like on TikTok and whatnot, they want the like manic pixie girl, and you're very like matured manic pixie girl.
Mature, manic pixie, creative, chaotic.
That's the energy I get. I feel
Nice.
like, yeah, I'd be curious to hear maybe when you start your other podcast that you want to do. It'd be
Yeah, to
nice
gloat.
to go. What was your impression from me here versus when you met me in person?
That's a great idea.
I'm curious to see what you'd be like on a first date with someone that we don't know.
Yeah.
In comparison to how I know you.
I would love to fucking have a reality show on my dating life. And just cameras.
That's what I wanted to do at one point, but then
Didn't do it.
I didn't do it. Oh, because I remember I was dating fucking Josh at that point, and he was like, "I was just a social experiment to you." I was like, "Whatever, block."
Yeah. You know, he was a stepping stone.
Here's a stepping stone, and blessings to him if he ever listens. I journeyed a lot of great things with him.
You know,
That's a good initiation.
I just think, I wonder if surely someone is doing it, but like a podcast where all your guests are just the people that you're dating or that you have dated.
Oh
It
yeah,
would be so
I
fucking powerful.
also love to do that. I'd love to have, we're doing it right now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Actually, I don't think we've actually done a podcast where we spoke about our relationship.
Maybe that can be one of the next episodes.
Yeah.
Unpack the chemistry, the
I
history.
don't even remember much about it. It's like kind of.
I feel like if we just went to our Instagram archives, we could figure it out.
Fuck. You know what? This is the thing that excites me most about our friendship circle, like our community, is how much change we experience so quickly.
Yes.
A week for us is like 3 months for other people.
Yes.
And in a year, I know some people, nothing changes for them in a year. Same job, same shit, same relationships, same friends, same problems, same complaints. But for us, it's like in a year, it's a fucking completely different reality. Your life turns upside down. And it's beautiful that we live that way. That's the kind of shit that I really want to share.
I think that'll be good. Like, my whole premise of this is to not be clickbaity or to have the hot topic or the hot person that we're interviewing, but it's what I want to sell is chemistry. So I feel like, it's allowing people to be a fly on the wall in the room, to feel like if you're driving or if you're going for a run or whatever, that you're there with us, and that, to document the journeys that we come in, of like, I would love to create eventually that we do it, every Wednesday morning or whatever. So whatever Wednesday morning you could have went on a date and you just had the best date or the worst date, and you come in the next day and it's like unpack time, or whatever. Like I just had the fucking worst session with one of my clients, or
I don't know how ethical that would be, but
not like, but like doesn't mean I have to talk about them, but I'm just come in like, fuck, I feel like a failure as a practitioner or whatever, and allowing the inside of that world, because I'm getting really good at, we've got to wrap up in like 3 minutes, but like starting my new round of Spiral, I just laid it on him like, hey, look, I might rock up crying, I might say the wrong thing, I might cancel a session last minute, and if everyone's like just this big, like, I'm a human, and I'm not professional, if you're not here for that, like, you can get a refund right now, because I need that. If you put your hand up, I'm going to remind you that you put your hand up at a later point if I do cancel a session or if I do whatever. And that's what I want to bring, more realness in this, like I might talk about how I feel like a failure of a practitioner or whatever, but for that to be a part of the transmission,
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I needed this today.
I needed it after this fucking, because I had so much doubt of like, are we even going to fucking record this now? And I feel so much better going.
Yeah, it was good to just
to
get
the
it
gig.
started.
I feel like that's our closing.
That's the closing
every
ritual.
week.
I like it. This may or may not be aired. We'll see what happens.
I feel like it's a yes for me.
It's a yes
This
from
from a
me.
yes from me.
It's a yes, dog.
All right.
All right.
And